All right, welcome in everybody. We are back, man. We are heading down to Oxford tonight. We got our boy JT Quinn on. How you doing tonight, JT?
Doing great, doing great. Real excited. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Obviously saw you this past weekend at Swayze and you were excited, I'm excited. And so before we get into your story, we got to break the ice. It's funny. We were just talking basketball before you came on, and you didn't even know that was what I was going to lead off with on the
Huh.
icebreaker. Saw the guys, saw the pictures of y'all at the basketball game, getting to sign autographs. Just how excited were the fans when they were coming by talking to you about the upcoming baseball season.
Yeah, they were really excited about the basketball team too. Like that's been a big thing. Last year was all about the baseball team really because basketball was great. We just came off the national championship, so they were really excited about us. But this year was a little change. It was a
Football
lot of
carried it
them.
this year, yeah.
Yeah, football was a big thing, and then basketball is big now too. We got the new head coach, so obviously that's changed things. So it's been cool to see. But yeah, that was a great experience too. Just walking
Yeah.
out, it was
There's
sick.
nothing better than being at everything school. If you can be
Yeah,
good at everything, it just makes life on campus that much more fun.
exactly. Sports all year round. Love it.
So the Super Bowl's coming up. We're not going to talk about the game. I'm going to talk about more important matters. I got to know if you're going to a Super Bowl party, what's the most important food item that needs to be there?
A great question. Uh, Gotta go with like chips and guac, chips and queso, chips and salsa, something along those lines.
Daniel,
Um,
we're getting all the right
uh,
answers because it comes down to dip at the end of the day.
yeah,
Like, if you
exactly.
don't have dip, this party's an epic failure.
No,
What
that's
I
it.
told my wife was she was like, "All right, well, what are we gonna make?" And I was like, "What do you mean? What are we gonna make? We're gonna have a bunch of finger foods. Like, I don't
Yeah.
think you truly like unless you're like smoking like pork or ribs. Like, you're not making like an entree. It's
No.
all like really quick, easy finger foods.
Yeah.
I love
Unless
going to a
you're
party where it's like a whole row of dips, like
Yeah,
just
yeah,
stack them up.
that's right. That's the way to go for sure.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, if the game is trash but you have good food, it don't even matter.
Yeah, it's still a win at that point.
That's how I can equate Mississippi State baseball sometimes. Not even throwing shade at them guys. At the end of the day, you're going to get fed so damn good in left field lounge. If they win,
Yeah.
awesome. If they don't, hey, I'm still leaving there full and happy. So,
Yeah.
but that's the one shade shot I'm gonna throw at Mississippi State on the Ole Miss episode. Favorite musician right now. If you're getting in the vehicle listening to something, who's the go-to right now?
A lot of Travis Scott's been going on. A lot of
You-
Travis Scott. Um, who else? Maybe some old future. Old future.
You're
His
making
feature.
Daniel's night, man. Too many,
Yeah.
too many cats been
Let's
coming
go.
on here. Country artists. So
Yeah. No, we're not dealing with that. Yeah.
you got your walk-up song picked out yet?
see,
I think I'm gonna still roll with the You Shook Me All Night Long by AC/DC. I think I'm gonna
Hey,
roll back with that. I don't
I'm
think you
I'm
can
good
go
with
wrong with
that.
it.
see,
Yeah.
JT's a Florida guy,
Yeah.
Tampa in particular, so he knows what's up, man.
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
I heard that. All right. Well, last question to break the ice. Talking about favorite musician right now, but favorite athlete. Like, if you're going to turn on the TV and watch somebody, don't know what sport specifically it might be, but who's that go to athlete? If they're on TV, you want to watch.
Ooh, that's a tough one. Um, Not a big basketball fan. Um, at least NBA wise, but I like to watch NFL. Um, my fantasy team. I just watched my fantasy team the whole year. I had a couple big guys. Keenan Allen. I love to watch him, just because he was on the team. He was putting up a big year. So
Let me ask you something because you said not a big NBA guy. Listening to them talk about it the last few days, and I agree with what they're talking about. I'm gonna see if you agree. Is one of the biggest reasons that the NBA is a turnoff is the guys, taking nights off. There are people that pay a lot of money, specifically spending money on for their kids to go see these
yeah,
stars, and they decide to take the night off, or there's a primetime game on television, and they're taking the night off, and it's a disgrace to the game.
yeah. I just think that's hard to like do as a player. Like sitting out for, or even the guys that sit out for the MLB draft or NFL, like for the combine, so something like that. Like guys in college, I don't know how you could do that to a team or even yourself.
It'd
Like,
be like Daniel. I'm going to the Ole Miss Iowa series, and JT's gonna take the Friday night off. It's all good.
yeah, I don't see how that's.
See,
I don't know.
Jim tried to take the last couple nights of the podcast off because he was like, "Man, we got a big episode with JT coming up. I need to like save my voice and all." I was like, "Come on, man! Like,
Yeah,
that's not what
that
we're about here."
can't happen. We're not about that for
Man,
sure.
I
Yeah.
ain't never took a night off. Why you lying to folks?
I'm just playing. He's the hardest working producer that I know.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
All right, so obviously we talked a little bit about being a Florida boy, Tampa in particular. Obviously, I'm living in Florida. Living in Tampa, so we can
So,
relate a little bit to
yeah.
the hometown. So, tell me a little bit about Tampa. What's your favorite thing about Tampa? What are people missing out? You know, what may be something that people in Oxford may not know about Tampa?
You sending me pictures of it being 81 degrees when it was
Yeah.
20 here. How about that?
Bro,
That's what I was
it's
gonna
been
say. That
cold
was
lately.
I
yeah, that
sent
was
him that hoodie. I sent him that hoodie, JT, and he sends me back a picture. He got it this week, and he sends me a picture that it's 81. He said, "I don't even need this."
yeah. Just throw it away at that point. In Florida, you don't I mean, we need it in December. That's it. That's all we
I
needed.
got I got two hoodies more than I need.
Yeah, that's right. Like you don't need anything there. It just gets too hot at that point. But yeah, I was gonna say the weather, the beaches, like go out to the beach a couple times, go on a boat, something like that. I miss the water a
So,
little bit.
so
But yeah,
give Jim. Oh, he's a Louisiana guy. So he's gonna be big on like Mardi Gras. But educate him on Gasparilla.
oh, did you
He
go this weekend?
I bro, I
Yeah.
got kids. When you got kids, you just don't go there anymore.
Oh, you didn't go. You
No,
didn't
I
go to the
didn't.
kids parade either?
Yeah, kids parade. Yes,
Okay.
we always go to the
Yeah.
kids parade. Have and that's an easy like go to hang out, catch a few
Yeah.
beats,
So is that the
and get out.
video that I seen the Lanzillis and some other folks
Yeah,
that I know are playing it? That okay, so that's what Matt Klotz and Trey Morgan and them are at too from LSU.
Yeah.
Okay, now it makes sense. All these cats were at this random
Yeah.
thing. I know.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's wild. There's like 1 million people that go there every year, something like that. Something crazy. But yeah, it's a crazy it's a crazy day.
I'm just now hearing about this. Daniel, you've
Yeah.
never brought this up until a Tampa guy came on the show.
Yeah.
Because he can relate. If I bring it up on any other show, when you talk about the premise of people dressing like pirates invading the city and it's a big
Yeah.
parade party, people start going, okay, how cool
Well,
is
that's the
Yeah.
best part. So Matt sends me a picture and he goes, "Look who I ran into," and it's Trey Morgan. But I can't even focus on the fact that he sent me a picture of Trey Morgan. I'm trying to figure out why there's a damn parrot on his shoulder.
Yeah.
And then I
That's
find
now you
he's doing it
know.
right then. He's doing it
Now
right.
you know. Yep.
Yeah.
So I gotta ask, obviously, grow up, you got dad. All right, and I gotta start with that.
Yeah.
Mississippi State guy, right?
Yeah.
Played
That's right.
baseball at Mississippi State. How does this work? Like, I mean, that seems like a house divided to me.
Yeah. He was we played state last year. It was at state. I remember I threw on Sunday and he shows up in like an Ole Miss shirt and like a Mississippi State hat from when he played. I was like, "What are you doing?" It was ridiculous. But yeah, he loves Ole Miss now. Like he wasn't he went there for 2 years, I think. But he loves Ole Miss now and he's a big fan. But he's still Mississippi State at heart, you know? Like all his roommates were pissed off that I committed to Ole Miss and overstayed, and they were like, "How could you let this happen? Like we thought we taught you well." But yeah,
I,
they were pissed off.
I feel like that's the secret unwritten rule that, when you play baseball at Mississippi State, like all the guys get together and when they graduate, whatever happens, every time they get together, it's always like, yeah, when you have a kid, like they got to play for Mississippi
Yeah,
State.
yeah, that was probably the dream, but yeah, I just didn't end up following that path, I guess.
I mean, you play in the SEC, bro. Like whether it's Ole
Yeah,
Miss, it's Mississippi State. When you make it to that level, you're elite and you're good. So, um, where do you get it from? Do you get it from dad who played baseball? Does mom have some genes? I mean, is it
she's got some
grandma,
genes.
grandpa?
She mom played a little bit of she did a little swimming. Dad was a big sports guy though. He was high school football, basketball, baseball, like pretty much everything. Big golfer now. threw out his back the other day golfing. But yeah, it comes from him probably.
I got you. You got brothers or sisters?
Yeah, brother and a sister. Brother's taller than me. He's 2 years younger than me. He's like 6'7", almost probably. He's a big boy.
Grief.
Yeah,
That's what
he's a
you
big
get for
boy.
beating. That's what you get for beating him up as a kid. Like
Yeah,
now he's got a little bit of height on you, and all that's going to come back. So you're
probably beat
gonna.
me up now too, which is crazy to think about.
Imagine play Daniel. We ain't taking them on in 2-on-2 in basketball in the driveway. That's all I'm saying.
No, that wouldn't work. I don't
I'm
think.
gonna I'm gonna drag him to the deep waters, bro. You know how I do. Um, so at what point, it seems like to me like dad being a big influence in baseball, he's gonna as soon as you can walk or hold a baseball, that's what you're gonna be doing. So at what age did you start playing?
Probably around 4, I think. I did like t-ball and stuff. He was always big baseball for me, but he played other sports growing up too. So he was like, yeah, get as many sports as you want. So I was the same way. A lot of football, golf, a little bit golf, but obviously mainly baseball. And then high school, I played, I think, football my freshman year, and then I ended that after that. Just started focusing on baseball after my freshman year.
You
Um,
you went to Berkeley, and so what I do know is a lot of people that I've met that have kids that went to Berkeley or go to Berkeley, they play multiple sports, and it's
yeah,
usually a baseball football combo.
yeah,
My neighbors across the street, their son graduated, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago from Berkeley, and he played football and baseball. And it was like when I'm talking to him, I'm like, that's really strange because in Florida, I get a lot of individualized sport athletes where it's just one sport. But I guess over there, he was like, they want you to do more.
yeah,
So um you said you shied away, or not shied away, but you decided to go just baseball.
yeah.
Do you feel like that helped you get to where you were, or maybe held you back on the athletic side because you weren't playing multiple sports anymore?
I think that was the only route for me to go. I sucked at football. I was probably never gonna play. I was slow. I couldn't really move. But yeah, I still can't really move, but I can throw a baseball, I guess. So I kind of figured that out a little bit. I think my sophomore year, I was like, I just got to get rid of this other sport stuff. Just focus on baseball, and um, yeah, that's kind of what's been going on.
I mean, it panned out, dude. You posted a
Yeah,
92 record, a 1.02 ERA, 82 strikeouts your senior season. You were named to the 2022 Florida All-State team. And we all know the caliber of baseball players in the state of Florida. So, to me, it seems like you're gonna play at the next level. But at what point do you feel like, all right, yeah, I can play, I can do this at the next level?
in high school, you're saying?
Yeah. Was
Uh,
it like a game or a moment where it kind of just clicked and you're like, shit, man, I'm good at this. I can take this to college.
um, I think I don't really ever think I had that really. I think I just focused a lot on like kind of that moment, which is kind of like a cringy thing to say, I guess, but I never really thought about like besides committing here and playing here, I never really thought about like, yeah, is my stuff going to translate? I never really worried about that. Um, I was just more focused on, I guess, what was happening, and I didn't really look too much ahead, which at the time I didn't really think much of, but now looking back, I thought it was a good thing. Just being able to kind of focus on that moment, and just kind of develop from there, and not really worry about what's going to happen here or am I going to play, whatever, blah blah blah.
So, I mean, obviously, you kind of have tunnel vision. You go, I just want to focus on me getting better, doing what I got to do. All that other stuff will come as long as I do what I need to do. But at what point, obviously, colleges start contacting you, you start
Yeah,
getting recruited. When do you remember that happening?
yeah, that was sophomore year. It was like right in the beginning of spring. I think I hit 88 one time, and then a couple of schools reached out, and then I hit 90 the next time I threw. And then a couple other schools started reaching out, and Yeah, that was a really cool moment. Because so I guess to answer your question, that was when I noticed. I was like, yeah, I can play at the next level.
What were the schools? Obviously, Ole Miss
Um,
being one of them.
yeah,
Was Mississippi
yeah,
State one of them?
yeah. State was one of them. I to be honest, I called their coach. Um, he didn't answer a few times, so that was kind of like a tough moment for me. I was like, yeah, I don't know if this is gonna work out. Blah blah blah. A couple other schools in the SEC, a couple ACC schools, and that was kind of it.
Gotcha. So inevitably, it's Ole Miss. So
Hmm.
why and how? I mean,
Yeah.
to me, like the influence in your ear is going to be it's anything but Ole Miss.
Yeah.
It has to be. So
Yeah.
then how does it become Ole Miss?
Yeah. Honestly, he was super supportive through it. He was like, if you really want to go here, I'll stomach it. I'll figure it out. I'll figure out a way to support you, but I won't necessarily be cheering for your team to win every time. Um, but yeah, he was super supportive. But I love the coaches at that point. I was like, this is such a good spot. I can notice the fans. I saw the all the beer showers that you guys see, like everything about it. You could see the facilities. Everything about it seemed perfect for me. It wasn't too far from home. So I mean, there was a lot of cool things about it that I really liked, and I got offered, and then I was like, yeah, mom and dad, like I need to take this. I want to go here. This is where I want to be, and I think within 2 days, I was committed at that point.
Yeah, what's crazy is doing this show, how much Coach B has really owned Florida. I mean, I'm thinking of
Yeah,
shows like Nikhazy or Elko or yourself, like, and I mean, that's just the start of a list. And so many of you guys that he pulls the talent really just speaks to Coach B and the staff of recruiting guys, going and getting the best guys from Florida. And, obviously you want to get the hometown guys from Mississippi, but
yeah,
you're not gonna, we know this, you're not gonna win that championship just, sticking at home. And so
no,
shout
yeah.
out to him for what he's been doing. Let me ask you though, we talk about the weather, but not just the weather. Obviously, it's a completely different culture. Was it a culture shock when you got to small town Oxford from Florida?
Yeah, for sure. Like growing up in Florida, I've never lived anywhere else. So obviously it's a big city. Like there's a couple million people living there, and you go down to whatever 60,000 people in Oxford. So right away you notice a change, but it's been really cool. Like you guys know how beautiful this campus is, how beautiful the city is. Everything about it's been awesome. So I think it was easier than I thought it was going to be, honestly, to acclimate to everything and kind of get in tune with what happens here and what everything's supposed to look like. So
Yeah, so let me ask you, you get there when we kind of talked about a minute ago, coming to a school that just won a national championship, what's that feeling like? Like, does it make you feel good because you obviously made your decision before then? Does it make you feel like really justified in your decision of choosing there?
yeah, I think the biggest part of that was like realizing that honestly, like this is real. This is as far as or this is as big as I can think of. I mean, the first day on campus was, I think it was like July 27th when I got here. That was the day before the parade. The parade happened, and there was, I don't know, 20,000 people in Oxford. There was 13,000 people in the stadium when they like gave him the trophy. And I was just sitting in the stands. I'm like, oh my God. Like I was almost overwhelmed. Like, this is crazy. This is a real thing. This is college baseball. Like this is the peak of college baseball. And I was like, yeah, this is where I want to get to, because obviously I wasn't there for it. You watch it on TV, but it really doesn't do it justice. Like
But it
I know
gives you
you
something to be, yeah, it gives you something to be hungry for, though, man. That's exciting to come there.
exactly.
And I mean, what we really just found out, Daniel, was that wasn't for the team and Elko. That was, man, JT arrived. They did a whole
Yeah, they
parade
did
for
all
him.
that for him.
Damn, that's what
That
I'm
He
was
got
talking
neat.
about.
the ultimate, welcoming
I
gift.
know it was crazy, and I mean you could see like all the guys were so happy, like hanging with the team and stuff. But I mean the fans there were just overwhelmed with like just crazy emotions. It was so cool for that to like be happening. It's like what you see on with Detroit in football, like
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. Like they needed it almost.
Yeah, no doubt. So, The season starts, you start off in the bullpen, coming out against Delaware. What's it like? You get to step out onto that bump, toe the rubber in Swayze for the first time. Were you more excited or more nervous? What was it like?
God, I was freaking out. Like, honestly, that was a crazy experience. But I remember I
The
threw right after Hunter, and obviously he just came off that national championship. So I watched him through that, and I was like, this is a really cool moment. Um,
the
but
blue
yeah,
hens had him shaking, man.
yeah,
Del-
I was
Delaware.
freaking out. But yeah, it was so cool. Like that was the first game I actually watched Ole Miss play baseball in Swayze. Like that was the first game I ever been to. Um, so that was a cool experience for sure to be able to pitch in that.
Yeah, and so I mean, you go from coming out the bullpen, freshman, first game to, hey man, congratulations, you're starting next week.
Yeah,
And you would ultimately have 12 starts on the season. I think it's a fair assessment to say you definitely had an up and down
yeah.
season. But let's not focus on the down. Let's talk about for you, what do you feel like was your favorite performance of the season?
There was two that stick out really. Like, um, I thought Florida I pitched better than the stats show. Um, I thought that was probably my best game. Just walking nobody. I think I had a couple strikeouts. Um, and just being able to control the zone and dealing with that caliber of hitters was really important. Like to kind of improve on that, and that also ultimately vaulted me into the starting rotation. Um, and then I think the next one was Arkansas. Like that was a big game for me. I thought I pitched pretty well there.
You
I,
battled is what I want to say, and that's why I
yeah,
shook my head. I watched the game. You fought hard and gave, you made them work for everything. And even though they scored some runs, you were able to go deep into the game, which at
yeah,
times looked like you possibly might not.
yeah, and exactly that was a big thing for us last year. Like nobody went deep into games. So it was almost weird. Like um, when we didn't go deep into games, it was like for others, it was hard to see going deep into games as like a realistic thing or something that starters should do because we just didn't have that. And except for when we played other teams, they would go 8, 9 innings on us. Um, but yeah, that was I think those were the two best games that I pitched in. Um, so that was important for me to, I guess, get some confidence and realize that I can pitch here. Like I can do this.
Yeah, absolutely. As far as, a game that you wish you could have back, is there one, I know you pitch as well. I know that there's one that you just wish you could have back and do it all over again. Is there that game?
Yeah, state. That was, I mean, we came into that should have been a series win right there. Maybe changes our season. Like who knows? Anything could really happen if we win that game. I know I went pretty deep into that game. I think it was almost 6 innings. But man, if we could have just won that game, like stuff changes. I don't know. Maybe the locker room changes. Something happens. I don't know, but maybe we could have had a different outcome, I guess.
Thanksgiving dinner changes,
Yeah.
conversations change,
Here's what I'll
presents get worse maybe, but at least you win the game.
here's what I'll say though, JT, and I'm having to have this argument for a second season in a row. So last year it was Tennessee at Arkansas, and this year it is LSU at Tennessee that I'm choosing to go to Mississippi State Ole Miss. And people can't believe that I wouldn't go to a top five showdown last year in Fayetteville, and then I'm not going to go watch my team in Knoxville. And I tell them that the battle for Mississippi is a must-have appointment that I have to keep. And the reason I bring it up is last year, the two of y'all finished in the bottom, but yet it was the most electric series, one in
Yeah.
which you set the all-time attendance record. I mean, the battle for Mississippi is unrivaled. And you're talking about two top five ballparks and fan bases that are all in. And so regardless of how the outcome was, obviously wasn't what you wanted, it's still, I thought it's good for the game overall.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. All you have to say is there was 17,000 people there on Saturday. I think there was close to like 14,000 on Sunday. Like it was just, it's unmatched.
You're not going to
Like,
see that when teams are more towards the bottom of their conference. Most fan bases are going to die out, right? No,
yeah,
not
yeah,
y'all's.
yeah. Like it seemed like if we won that series, then our season was saved almost. Like we could have lost every game after that, and our fans would have been fine with it. We're like, I think it's been 8 or 9 years in a row that we've lost to them, and um, it's crazy that 17,000 people showed up to that game, or 14,000 or 12,000, whatever it was, and um, that amount of people showed up to the game when we were just two bad baseball teams. Like, and they ended up being great games too, fantastic games. Like,
Yeah, no,
well,
absolutely. I had a blast.
yeah,
And so, you know, outside of that, I didn't really want to focus too much on last season. I want to get to the positive, and that was watching you this fall. You know, I told you, I watched you. I did a write up. You know, absolutely Friday night ace stuff. And you know, I got to ask, like over the summer, you know, what did you do? I don't know if it's the weight room. I don't know how you went about it, but tell me what you did to work maybe on your mechanics, your body to be the way that I saw you this fall.
yeah. I mean, there was a lot of changes. There was a lot of work going on. Obviously, we got home early, so we had a lot of time. Um, but yeah, I started to really figure out that I needed to put on weight. I think I was around like 200 pounds um, when I first got back in summer, around like May 20th or something. Um, Ultimately put on like 20 pounds when I got back. And then just figuring out command, like how to command the baseball, how to command the strike zone, um, and being able to, I guess, looking through like the teams that made it to the postseason and watching their best guys pitch, you see what they do that makes them successful. And seeing guys like Paul Skeens, Ty Floyd, Hagen Smith, uh, I don't know, other guys like the
I
guys
mean,
on
hey, that's
Florida.
a solid three. You can roll with
Yeah,
that.
exactly. But those guys, like, you see what they do, and they all command the strike zone. They all throw all their pitches in the zone. Um, and that was the biggest thing for me to just see, like, these guys trust their stuff, and they trust it enough to throw it in the zone where it can get hit. And yeah, it's going to get hit. Like Paul Skeens had the best stuff probably college baseball's ever seen, and he gave up whatever amount of homers. Like he's going to get hit. I'm going to get hit. So you just got to trust it. And I guess 70% of those are going to be outs on a even a good hitter. So
Yeah.
just being able to trust that.
So Daniel, let me ask you, as a college pitcher, as a college pitching coach, you know, JT says something that's common. You know, Gage Wood even said it last night when you weren't there, because he's a freshman going to sophomore. I'm commonly hearing this. You know, they're putting on the weight of the summer freshman and sophomore year, and you know, we know the body, and we know obviously you're still hitting that last growth spurt. Daniel, talk about, you know, just these guys and being able to, you know, especially in these elite programs, hitting the weight room, doing what Ole Miss has for them, and how, you know, taking advantage of that freshman to sophomore jump.
I mean, it's one of those things where if you want to excel, those are the things that you have to do. That's
Yeah,
really what it boils down to. You have to make that commitment. Even the best of the best are getting in the weight room, they're getting after it, they're making sure they're dialed in mechanically. They're any way that they can add, velo or late break or sharp break or movement or any kind of whatever that's going to give them an edge and make them better. That's what they're doing in the off season. It sounds like, JT, you committed to, all right, I'm going to hit the weights. I'm going to get myself ready because I heard you say one of the things that you wanted to do is to be able to go late into games. And
yeah,
what you guys weren't doing was going late into games. And when I
yeah,
think of that, I think about, well, do I have the endurance? Do I have the stamina? Do I have the lower half that's going to allow my arm to hang in there? Do I have my mechanics sound? And those are the things that you commit to during the off season.
yeah. And you see guys like Skeens, like he's throwing 102 deep into games, and he's 250 pounds. Like he's not doing that if he's 200 pounds or 190. Guys just can't do that if you're not strong in the weight room, if you're not conditioned.
And
Um,
it's amazing to me because, like, to me, I think it's like we're in this era of college sports or even in sports in general where the science behind it, we've gotten so good at biomechanics of movement
yeah,
that we know how what you have to do. We know arm angles. We know things that you have to do to increase velocity. And it's almost guys like Skeens, it looks like it's effortless. And I
Yeah.
guess that's what you want it to look like.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's so efficient with his movements. He's so strong and he's just a massive human being, you know.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it
I
helps that
mean,
he's a big guy.
yeah, but he said that he came on the show and talked about it. I mean, one of the biggest things for LSU, he said, was that weight room, and he talked even about the 8 hours sleep, which was funny. But
yeah,
yeah, he was not hit. They did not have a weight room regiment really at Air Force. He talked about that, so it's amazing. And I've obviously seen y'all's facilities, top notch SEC facility, and
yeah,
it's not all just the weight room. Obviously, it's the other things, but like I said, this fall you seem to have it together. So let's talk about this upcoming season. You talked about Mississippi State losing, 9 in a row or 8 in a row, what you said. They're coming to y'all. I actually got my ticket set for that today. Like I said, I'm not going to LSU at Tennessee. Just how
so
excited are you for the opportunity of getting that get back in what will be a packed out, sold out Swayze, crowd?
yeah. I mean, ever since that game, it's like you're missing that rush of adrenaline. It was like nothing I felt before. Just being on that mound in front of that many people, and it's gonna be the same way at Swayze. So, I mean, I can't wait. I don't know how to like describe it. It's something I've never felt before, and like just being out in front of those many people, it's crazy.
So let me pitch an idea to you. I've already pitched it to Chinook Seedery. They are 100% in, and I just basically got to talk to the people who run things at Swayze. So instead of for one day, instead of the beer showers, I want to do Chinook seeds. I want to do seed showers. Just I want it to rain seeds in right
Yeah.
field. Are you down? Are you down for that?
I mean, that looked cool. It would look cool for sure.
It's not a permanent thing, just a 1 day thing.
Yeah.
Let's get wild with the season. Hey, eat them off the ground. Do what you got to do. Beer is wasted. Once it's spilled, it's
Yeah.
spilled, man. The seeds are still there.
Yeah.
I
They're still there.
mean,
That's true.
let's be real now. I think them people still gonna drink beer.
Oh yeah.
But you
Yeah.
can't lick it off the ground. But hey, Daniel, think about this. You've been doing combos, right? Mixing seeds. If they're all over the ground and you got numerous different flavors, there's no telling what kind of concoction you may pick up.
I mean, you're right, man. It's a mystery.
I'm gonna get it done. It's gonna happen.
I mean, you would have to be early in the season because I bet deep in the season, the grounds out there in right field are you may not want to be eating anything.
Yeah. No, for sure.
So outside of Mississippi State, whether it's home or away, is there a series? Obviously, I'm not talking about I'm not talking about overlooking other teams. Is there just one you're genuinely excited for?
Um, I think obviously Hawaii. That's gonna be so sick. Just going there and being in that atmosphere. Iowa seems like a just a really cool game. Like to be able to see whatever Brody Beck and whoever their other guys are.
Bro, no, y'all absolutely no. I've been talking mad shit. I don't support Big Ten teams. I'm tired of hearing about their
I
weekend
thought you were
rotation.
about to say I don't talk mad shit, and I was gonna be like, hold on now.
No, no.
Like, that's
Look,
a
man,
lot.
I'm going to be there. I want y'all to beat the brakes off them.
Yeah, for
Everybody
sure.
mocked me for having y'all in the top 25. They all got them in the top 15. I want Big Ten to come to the SEC, find out, and then you know what? I'm gonna let everybody hear it. Everybody's gonna block me. It's all good. But no, Iowa, y'all better take to the woodshed.
I think we. I mean, who knows? But I think we will. We
I,
got to
I
get to.
love hey, I love confidence, Daniel. I was messaging Chance Tequila from Campbell today. I'm starting my season there, JT, and
Mhm.
same theme, right? Everybody's hyping UCSB up. They're ranked 17. And they didn't rank Campbell. And he was like, dude, stay tuned. He's like, them West Coast boys ain't gonna want to come over here to the cold and play in our stadium. Anyway, he's like, they're getting their ass whooped. Anyway, I kind
Yeah.
of feel the same way, and you should have that mentality. Like,
Yeah.
even
Exactly.
if it sounds arrogant, but yeah, I can't wait to watch y'all against Iowa. Numerous different series. The one that I wish I was going to be there for, and I guarantee you, Daniel will agree. We had Cole Messina on Monday. But it's when LSU's at Mississippi State, and being my son is a Mississippi State fan, and I'm an LSU
Yeah.
fan. There's no way I missed that one. But Daniel, man, South Carolina's coming to Swayze. That'll be a great series.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be great. Um, it's it's really strange though. Like the environment at Founders in regards to the environment at Swayze, like I feel like it's similar in a sense, like it's gonna be hostile. So are they gonna be expecting that? Are they gonna be ready for that?
I actually, based upon what we've had players tell us, I don't think Swayze's as hostile as Founders. I hear they can really let you have it. Swayze, they really don't. Outside the throw it in the dirt guys, which that was one of, I'm going to tell you a story, JT. You may remember this. You talked about Hagen Smith. So one of the main guys, his name is Nathan Joyner. I'm friends with him. He normally is out in the outfield doing it. Well, he came and visited me right behind home plate, and he starts yelling as loud as he can about throw it in the dirt at Hagen Smith. And he ends up giving a 2-run bomb.
Yeah, to
And
Groff.
then he hit the next batter, and they ended up pulling him for Cody Adcock. And then Cody Adcock comes in, and keep in mind, these are both in off the bench guys, so I'm like embarrassed at the moment. And he starts yelling at him, and he ends up giving up a bomb. And next thing you know, I see Cody Adcock's mom making a beeline right for us.
Yeah, pissed
Anyway,
off.
I bounce. I turn the corner or whatever, and she lets him have it. And did he stop? No. Instead, he turns around and yells at him, "Your mom's mad at me." And I was like, "Oh my God." And I was like, I seen Cody and Hoover, and he was like, "Bro, your friend." And I was like, "Man, I don't even know that guy."
Yeah,
But outside of the throw it in the dirt guys, really Swayze's very, very chill crowd.
yeah, it is. It's a lot of like the benches or the stadium and the outfield is pretty far from like the
If
fence, so
anything, I'd say they don't like
people.
the umpires. They'll let the umpires have it all
Yeah.
day.
Oh, they let them. Yeah, they're very vocal to the umpires, but other than that, it's pretty respectful crowd. Kind of cheer for your own team, kind of ballpark.
Yeah, no doubt. So last couple questions, just talking about the rest of the team. Obviously, everybody knows about you. They know about Rivas. They know about Sanye. Talk about and even some of the Josh Mallett and some of the Riley Maddox, returners in the bullpen. Outside of that, for those that are listening who maybe haven't been able to get out there this fall, talk about some of the other pitchers that are going to make a name for themselves this year.
Yeah. I think obviously Josh, like coming back from injury, that's huge. His sliders, like a big league slider, it's unbelievable, really. A couple other guys like Kyler Carmack, he's looked unbelievable so
Man, he
far.
looked great when I was there the other
Look,
day.
he looked unhittable the other day. Like it was pretty crazy to watch
When you
actually.
when you when you sit down, who he sat down Uttermark.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
I'm trying to think. He sat down. He went through three straight. I'm trying to think who the order, because I'm getting confused because red and blue. You're all Ole Miss players. But he went through the basically what would be the heart of the order and struck them all
Yeah.
out. And I was like, okay, I see you.
Yeah, he looked really good. Yeah, he's gonna be really good for us this year. His changeup's unbelievable. A couple other guys like Wes Mendez, he's gonna be really good too. Like really good, I think. Who else? Patrick Galley, my roommate, he's throwing like 100 miles an hour with 92-mile-an-hour sliders. I think he pitched Sunday. I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
No, I thought the pitching altogether Sunday. I was trying to figure out, if the pitching was that good or if it was just cold. Because
yeah, no, it was.
I was messing with Burford, he ended up getting those two singles later, but his first two ABs, he acted like he didn't want to take a bat off his shoulder. I thought maybe he was just too damn cold.
Yeah, it was definitely cold out, but yeah, the pitching was really good that day. At least the
The
first.
what's his name? Kramer, dude. That
Yeah,
dismissal he hit off his
yeah,
bat. I wish I would have been looking at the scoreboard because they don't have the analytics for afterward. I'm willing to gather 110 plus off the bat. They had the shift on. I know you saw it, and he still put it through there. I was like,
I
damn.
think I think it was 109, 108, 109, one of those. He
Daniel,
demolished the
I
base.
sent you the video. I think Daniel. I mean, dude, get
Yeah,
out the way.
yeah, he kills some baseballs for sure.
All right. So talking about hitters, obviously I mentioned Kramer, but obviously, same kind of thing. We know guys like Luke Hill, Groff.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, I do want you to talk about one guy that people should know, and he absolutely hit a huge bomb, Fisher. But talk about some of the other guys maybe people don't know, and people, like I said, maybe don't know him because he's transferring in from Duke.
I think a lot of people know him, to be honest. He's a big name now, like with our fan base, everybody kind of knows him.
And
But
did you hear what he did? My son went and retrieved that home
oh
run.
yeah, you told me. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
baseball gave him
yeah,
to the kid.
and people assume that like a guy will do that. That's what I told Daniel. People make assumptions, but not every guy's like that. He came over, and it's not just that he signs the ball. He writes a nice message on there,
Yeah,
tells me to tell the kid, and his family if there's anything else he can do. And that's what this man. That's what it's ultimately about. And if you see the smile on the kid's face, who's going to fight leukemia for a fifth time, and I told Andrew, man, I was like, you got a fan for life in me, dude.
yeah, no, exactly. He's such a good guy. Like we got a bunch of we got a group of good guys, to be honest. Like this year's been pretty awesome. This fall, I'm just really excited to see like where it goes from here. And we got a really good group of guys just off the field too. I mean, you can tell like all those guys are really ready to help out, want to greet kids, want to be um, signing autographs, want to be around people and just helping people, putting a smile on their faces, all that. So it's been really cool. But to kind of answer your question, the hitters this fall, like Hill has had my number. It's been unbelievable.
So you were
He
happy when he got strep, huh?
Yeah, I wasn't gonna face him, and I was like, thank God. I did not want to face him again. Um, he's like 4 for 5 off me or something like that with like a double, three doubles or something stupid. Um, but he's been really, really good so far. I thought Burf's had a great fall. Burf's had a really good fall. Braden Randall, he's a freshman. I know there's been a lot of like buzz about him so far. But he's been really, really good. Leger too. Leger looks like his fall self and late last year self.
And it's interesting that you say that because that gives Coach B a good problem to have, but a problem because you're mentioning all middle infield guys
Mhm.
right there, and there's only 2 spots, and so
Yep.
only one can DH, and then somebody else. So yeah, it's gonna be one of those things. It's gonna be an iron sharpens iron thing. They're all gonna push each other to be better, but somebody ultimately on any given day is gonna have to sit out. But I
Yeah.
think that's a good problem to have, obviously.
Yeah, they're gonna find spots for him. Like those guys are too good at bats to sit down. They'll find spots. Judd as well. I mean, he's a monster. You can just see him walk into the building and he looks like a Mike Trout or something like that. Um, but yeah, those guys are gonna find a spot and they'll put them in the outfield. They're so versatile. Like they can play anywhere really.
Yeah. So the last thing I got for you, and then we'll get to this game. You mentioned it earlier. I was actually supposed to start the season there. Actually, I had the plane tickets, the hotel, everything. My wife has to have surgery, so I can't. But nonetheless, y'all still get together. It's not about me. Hawaii, man, dude, that's just and the thing was, me and Daniel interviewed some Hawaii guys, and they're actually, excited that Ole Miss is coming, and they actually even mentioned because NC State comes behind y'all. So back to
Yeah.
back, talking about they're excited not only to get to play good teams, but they're actually excited for y'all to come visit their island. So I bring that up to say, man, just how excited are you to get to go to Hawaii to play baseball?
I think it's like a once in a lifetime thing. Like seriously, there's no pro ball teams out there. There's no nothing like this. This is a very rare thing and special thing that happens to only a few teams probably per year, and a few guys per year. Like it's such a cool opportunity, and obviously they're really lucky to be there and live there and play their games out of there. But I'm just really excited for that trip. I know it's gonna be a miserable like way to get there, but besides that, I'm really excited for it.
The question itinerary wise that you maybe don't know. I mean, I assume you're not just flying like a couple days before because you got to get over that kind of whole jet lag and kind of get your feet under you. I mean, I assume y'all gonna fly early in the week.
Like Wednesday, I think we leave.
Oh man, that's too late, man. Y'all need
Yeah,
some
it's a
time
little
to
late.
recoup.
Yeah, but I mean, we'll figure it out. Just
You're the Friday night guy. Like you got like a 1 day turnaround to get rid of the jet lag.
hopefully. Yeah, we'll see.
I mean, these are young bucks, dude. They
Hmm.
they live for this.
Bro, I
It's their
remember
life.
I booked that same flight. I know how long it is, bro. It's
Yeah,
not just a couple hours, dude.
it's
I
like
hear you.
13 hours or something like that. But
I
yeah,
mean, you want me to feel sorry for you going to Hawaii.
Yeah, I do want you to
Not
feel
going,
bad
that's
for
not
him.
gonna
I
happen.
do. You live in Tampa. You can kiss my ass.
yeah.
Damn, I got 2 days to get ready for a game in Hawaii. Oh,
Oh, it's miserable. Right.
I know, right? All right. It is a spectacular way to kick off the season. Obviously, get you guys pumped up and excited, but obviously, here we are for the excitement of the game, this or that. You down to play?
Of course.
All right. It's easy, man. I give you two options. You choose one option or the other. Just, go with your heart, pick one. Don't say both. Don't say neither. Just
Yeah.
be decisive.
Yeah,
Well,
of course.
Jim, this or that. Who's it brought to you by?
The Athletic Collection, and I'm going to pose a question to you. If I get Brent to send you a JT Quinn poster, will you remove the belts and put him right there?
No. Sorry. Love you, JT, but
Damn.
that clashes with my Memphis going on. However, there's plenty of space in this studio for me to hang a poster of JT. Unfortunately, the real estate is locked in right now. But,
I wouldn't want you to move those belts.
well, I appreciate that. See, he gets it. He gets it. So,
You're
also,
the one that tried to talk me into moving my LSU players off for Arkansas and Tennessee players and Wake Forest players.
I mean, Josh Hartle's sitting in the closet. Bro.
He's right there in the closet on the wall. I found a space for him. Don't worry, JT. I won't stick you in the closet. I will.
Appreciate that.
I'll put you on the back of the door.
Damn.
We definitely got to shout out our newest sponsor, Old Dominick Distillery. Tonight, once again, we got the batch number 4 cast strength bourbon whiskey. We taste tested it last week and it was phenomenal. You got hints of vanilla, hints of cherry. It packs a nice little hit and stays with you. It's not overpowering hit, but it's enough to know that you're getting a nice taste, a nice glass of good quality bourbon. So highly recommend. I'm gonna pour a little bit for our game. And
while you pour, Daniel, I got to tell you, man, breaking news. Obviously, I got a business meeting tomorrow at noon. It was the same time that Cammie Weaver, superstar Arkansas gymnast, asked if I could go live with her because they got to fly out to Baton Rouge. So tomorrow, Daniel, first episode to go live from our sponsor, Old Dominick Distillery.
Shout out. Let's do it, man. I'm jealous. See, these are the things that, as cool as living in Tampa is, like, those are the things I miss out on. So maybe I'm not so cool. All right, let's get to it. First question: chicken tacos or beef tacos?
Beef tacos. Easy.
Are you a soft taco guy, hard taco kind of guy?
No. Hard taco guy. I've been getting the Doritos Locos Nachos from Taco Bell.
Let's go.
Sarah does that at home, Daniel. She actually does the Doritos for taco salad here.
Hey, you can't beat a beef hard shell taco. Just can't. Top favorites, man. I could eat 1,000 of those.
Sure. They're fire.
All right. The next question is a question that is sweeping the nation.
And before you ask, I got to tell you, another one picked my option on this last night. We are starting to even this thing up. Let's go.
It's pretty silly, but I'm not gonna give anything away because I want JT to get the non-biased question before I give my 2 cents. Liquid soap or bar soap?
Liquid soap.
So
maybe he won't beat Iowa.
I mean,
what?
Liquid soap.
I've never even seen one of those.
Gage Wood uses bar soap, and that's why he's electric.
No.
I mean,
you don't even have clean hands, JT. I can't trust you anymore.
I use the liquid soap for my hands.
It only cleans your hands 50%.
Not if you get the right one.
Not if you actually wash your hands.
Yeah.
Like, if you think about
how many squirts you doing, Daniel?
How many squirts?
Yeah.
Well, see, that's the great thing about liquid soap is it lathers well. Like, you don't have to sit there and scrubby.
Not if you're at the gym and you get the cheap. When I'm at the gym and I wash my hands, you got to squirt it 18 times to actually get real soap.
Well, they probably mix water in there with it.
Exactly.
So, I mean,
I'll forgive JT though. I mean, he's got dirty hands. I'll just give him fist bumps from here on out.
Yeah.
He's got the man hands.
Yeah, that's right.
Let me ask you this though. You're not one of those guys that gets a blister and you're like, oh man, my life's falling apart. My pitching hand has a blister.
No, I got a few on my finger right now. But yeah, we're not doing that.
All right, good.
Daniel, that just reminds me. I'm hijacking this or that for a second. It's a must-have story. It's a must-have.
Oh,
I forgot to tell you, and I'm gonna wait to in off the bench to tell you. So we're playing this game at a friend's house, and it's best friend's game. How well do you know your best friend? And I'm paired up with my 11-year-old son. And the question is, what would your best friend say if he stubbed his toe? Guess what Jackson wrote?
The F word.
He freaking did, and I did not feel bad for a second.
That's
And my
that,
wife looked at
that's
him
how,
like,
I mean,
he
Jim's my
didn't
best
actually write
friend,
it. He
and
wrote F asterisk
I know
asterisk
him.
asterisk.
Good for him.
yeah.
Good for him. All right, next question: powder blues or pinstripes? This is a question that everybody wants to know, especially on Twitter. Twitter Space wants to know the answer to this question.
I know the fans like the powder, but I'm going the other way. I'm going pins. I like the pins. I like the way they feel better.
Traditionalist. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you could say that.
But
Just not.
I think what you just said though, Daniel, I think the fans like the blues better. Most of the players don't. You know, he said something key. They got to wear them. It feels different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want if I'm pitching, especially, like I want the uniform that I feel the most comfortable in.
Yeah,
So JT Vance Honeycutt came on and said that he likes the vest uniforms, right? And they're not the best looking ones for North Carolina, but to what we're talking about, he said it almost feels like you're not wearing a shirt. It's very nice.
I think it's a hot take. I like the look of those uniforms. Probably, I mean,
Ooh,
I think they're up there.
there you go.
Their
The
Columbia
vest,
or whatever they call it is it's real nice, but I like the vest. I think the vests are sick.
the vests are making a comeback this
There
year.
we go.
Watch.
Ole Miss has got to get the
All teams
vest.
are gonna have vests this year.
I mean, they might as well. Everybody's actually trying to replicate Ole Miss's powder blues. Liberty was the
Yeah.
first one, and there's like 4 or 5 now. They'll just get vests now.
Yeah. Start getting vests. Take their
Along the lines of a uniform, we're gonna switch it to costumes. Would you
Yeah.
rather go to a costume party or a pool party?
Pool party.
Uh,
Unless it's Halloween. Is it Halloween?
I mean, yeah, sure. It's Halloween.
Okay, it's Halloween. I'm going to the costume party.
What are you dressing up as? What were you for Halloween this past year?
So I got an inflatable alien costume and I wore that. It was like 8 feet tall. It was massive. It's like the one where the alien is there, and then it's like his arms around the guy. He's like carrying the guy. Have you seen that?
My neighbor is a
Yeah.
little kid. He had that same costume.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
I had
Daniel.
the extra large one, and it was like 9 feet tall. It was ridiculous.
Not well, he says 9 feet tall, but he's damn near 9 feet tall. About fit him, right? Um, let me ask you, Daniel. Look, I think with us bringing this up, I think it's time for me to unleash the Dylan DeLucia in a cheerleading costume when I release JT's episode because nobody has that picture. What do you think?
I mean,
He's the most outstanding player. He can survive this criticism.
I don't know if he's ready for that. I don't know about that.
I don't know if Dylan is like, yeah, bro, I want you to put that picture out there. Or
Well, I mean, I could put pictures of him in the club in Atlanta. At least I'm not doing that.
wow, I mean, hey, that's
He
all.
brought this on himself. Hey, you
That's,
know what? Anybody, JT, there's people who think I hate Ole Miss. Dude, I went and partied in Atlanta with Ole Miss players. That's bull. I wasn't gonna say it, but you know what? As a matter of fact, JT, you're welcome. I got 2 extra tickets. Me and Andrew Fisher and dang, I can't even talk. Luke Hill are going to the Grizzlies game tomorrow. Come on with us. We're going on the floor.
Tomorrow, I got to go to sleep early tomorrow.
This
We're not. Yeah, big sleep guy. Just like Paul said.
that's why he keeps bringing up Paul Skeens. They got the same regiment.
Yeah, trying to. I mean,
recovery, baby, recovery. Speaking of Luke Hill,
yeah.
Who's got more swag, Ethan Leger or Luke Hill?
Oh, you're putting me on the spot.
Of course,
I did that for a reason because
that's
those
the
two.
name of the game.
We're going with Leger. Going with the OG. He's older. He's a veteran. You know, going with Leger for sure.
Not a bad pick. Would you rather be lost in a jungle or trapped in a haunted house?
Oh, Trapped in a haunted house for sure.
Finally, he's the first one.
Yeah.
That's the smartest answer because, I mean,
Yeah, you're gonna die in the jungle. Like you're lost in the jungle.
exactly.
There's like snakes and I don't believe in ghosts and like
We
yeah.
try every guest that we've asked this question and they've picked the jungle, we've tried to like reason with them on the dangers of the jungle in comparison to the dangers of a haunted house, which the dangers of a haunted house doesn't even come close.
Daniel
not at
just
all.
does tiger at night, and that's enough. You don't even have to go through the whole list.
I mean,
Yeah,
there's multiple predators at night in the jungle. The tiger is just one of them.
yeah, tiger.
Ethan
Snakes.
told me to tell you you are real AF.
Yeah.
Now for Luke's response, it's going to come through any second.
Oh, you told Luke?
Oh,
I did it in a group text.
No
I did it in a
shot.
group text.
No shot.
Those are both my dudes. It'll be fun.
That's crazy.
Look,
Right.
I'll tell you this. You know why he picked the right answer, Daniel? Ethan managed to take a picture just doing what he does on the field, holding a bag of seeds, in his own version, and it got him an NIL deal based upon the picture that I had posted. That's how you know you got the look.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, he's got the look. He's got the look. You know what I mean? All right. Private yacht or private jet?
Do I own it or go on one?
You get to, it's yours, one or the other. And that's
Mine?
your mode of transportation.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
I think that's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, I mean,
Give me
go
the
to
yacht.
a private-
you can go anywhere. The
Yeah, you
boat,
can go to your private yacht, you know?
yeah, the boat, you're locked into only being able to travel on water.
And that's more expensive too.
I know. I try. See, you're gonna understand this. These guys that don't live in Florida don't seem to understand. Like owning a boat is great, but it's all the other expenses of like storing the boat, docking the boat, maintaining the boat, fueling the boat.
When we
Like,
went to eat last time I was
that's
there,
that costs more than the boat.
those giant yachts look great at that restaurant you took me to. They look like something
They
I
look
want to own.
fantastic, but it seems like everybody thinks they just disappear once you get off.
Yeah,
Got to go somewhere, you know? It's expensive.
for sure. All right, JT, last question, man, and we'll let you bounce. Would you rather be the number one overall pick in the draft, or would you rather win a national championship?
National championship.
You guys are just answering the question. Like, usually I have like this spiel that I give, and like you have come out the gate flying with the answer, no thought. Last episode, Cole Messina was the same way, just 100% national championship. But I'll tell you the difference between the two is $10 million.
Yeah.
So if I brought you a briefcase full of crisp minty $100 bills to the sum of 10 mil, and I said, JT, man, this is yours. Take it. Or you can let me have it, and I'll give you this wooden trophy that says Division I national champion on it.
Yeah, you can keep that. You can keep the 10 million.
Wow.
Check it out. Daniel sold me his national championship ring for $100,000 because he didn't care and value this. Daniel, I'm just kidding. This is my fantasy football ring, but it looks like your national champion. Daniel's got one. He said he would sell it to me for $100,000 now.
For 100 grand. That's yours. It's yours.
Yeah, that's a pretty simple thing for me. And I think that's
when you have kids though, you want that 10 mil. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, I can appreciate that. It's just right now, that's all I want.
The season of his life. He's about the championships. He's a team guy.
That's right.
And I can appreciate that. All right, JT, man. Anything you want to plug or promote before you get out of here?
No. I just appreciate you guys having me on. This has been fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Whatever it takes to grow the game, whatever it takes to get your story out there and highlight you and the Ole Miss baseball team, that's what we're here for, man.
I'm gonna challenge the Ole Miss fan base because we're working on getting. We talk about Leger and Luke Hill. Me and Brent actually got their posters in the works, but right now the only Ole Miss baseball player to get, Daniel, is JT. There's no excuses right now. JT is the poster. Go get it now.
Right.
Get it while it's hot. All right. If you want to know more about JT Quinn, go on over to Instagram, quinn.jt. Or if you want to know what the Ole Miss baseball squad's up to, maybe they're getting ready for the last preparations before they hop on a flight to Hawaii. Maybe it's hype videos, highlights, score updates, pitching rotations, you name it. It's there at Ole Miss BSB on Instagram. JT, man, we wish you a happy, successful, and healthy season. And we know that you guys are ready to really do a 180 on last season and really, go back to winning ways and get yourself, in a position to go back to Omaha because, Jim and I know you guys can compete for a national championship. You got the guys to do it. It's just a matter of going out there and getting after it. So we hope that things are good for you guys. And if there's anything we can do to help you along the way, reach out to us, man.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. And I'm glad we're on the same page. So
Absolutely, brother. That's JT Quinn, everybody. If you like JT's story or you like hearing us average Joes talk X's and O's, please like and share the podcast on Facebook. Retweet us on Twitter. Listen and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Anchor. As always, comments, ratings, feedback, thumbs up, hearts, hugs, loves. We'll take it all. And we'll see everybody. Special episode coming at you tomorrow. Jim's going to be live. He's going to be at Old Dominic's Distillery. What time is it, Jim? 12 p.m.?
Man, yeah, we going noon, baby. We ain't never gone that early ever.
12 p.m. Central Standard Time, 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Jim's going live to talk Arkansas gymnastics with Cammie Weaver. It's gonna be pretty sweet, man. I'm excited for this episode, Jim.
Well, what's cool is I'm gonna get to see her Friday night in the PMAC. Arkansas versus LSU, number 5 against number 7. It's gonna be legit.
It's bittersweet. We talk about it all the time that, when we have our guests on and they're, we hear their story, we root for them. But then again, like you're going to the PMAC and it's going to be, you want Cammie to do well, but
hey, she can get a 9.95 and Kaya can get a 10, bro.
There you go. All right, let's get out of here. Let's put a bow on it. This has been the In Off the Bench podcast. As always, remember, strong body, sharp minds, grit and grind all the time. We're out.